Okay, so let's finish up this video by continuing on with our list of government conspiracies. Tonight is Operation Artichoke. Okay, so Operation Artichoke was brought into existence by Allen Dulles, who was then the acting deputy director to the CIA. The whole goal of this was to replace and expand a project called Bluebird. Within weeks, the CIA had acquired secret prisons in the Canal Zone, West Germany, and Japan. Basically, Artichoke teams were sent overseas for brutal interrogations with drugs, hypnosis, and quote-unquote psychological harassment. In other words, Artichoke is a project for quote-unquote refining torture techniques and field testing operations. Yes, it is true, its objectives were summarized in a 1952 memorandum, and I quote, "Evaluation and development of any method by which we can get information from a person against his will and without his knowledge. Can we get control of an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will, and even against such fundamental laws of nature such as self-preservation," end of quote. The objective was to subvert a human being's freedom of thought and action to enable the government to have total control over its citizens. That objective right there. Well, that was the connecting thread for all subsequent covert CIA mind control and behavior modification projects. These subjects of Artichoke experiments included American soldiers, prisoners who were in federal prison, POWs, and suspected counterintelligence agents and mental patients. So in one of the rare surviving official documents from Operation Artichoke, Allen Dulles sent a secret memo to Richard Helms and the CIA Deputy Director for Plans, Frank Wisner. Now this memo actually contains specific information related to what kinds of interrogation techniques would be used. And I quote, "In our conversation on the 9th of February 1951, I outlined to you the possibilities of augmenting the usual interrogation methods by the use of drugs, hypnosis, shock, etc., and emphasized the defensive aspects as well as the offensive opportunities in this field of applied medical science. The enclosed folder, Interrogation Techniques, was prepared in my medical division to provide you with a suitable background," end of quote. Yeah, so let me reiterate one part of that. Yeah, so the defensive aspects as well as the offensive opportunities. Yeah, this was 1951. Imagine what the government is doing right now. These projects have never stopped. They just go by different names, or they've been relegated to the black budget projects. But you know, we always hear that it's just a conspiracy theory to contemplate these things. We have proof that these things had occurred in the past, and why would we think they stopped? Anyway, and I quote, "Camp King was the perfect location to conduct these radical trials. So Allen Dulles even explained that overseas locations were preferred for Artichoke interrogations, since foreign governments permitted certain activities which were not permitted by the US government. An example they give is anthrax. So yeah, that's crazy." And I quote one more time, "Contrary to the erroneous perception, Operation Artichoke did not meld into the massive nationwide mind control project known as MK Ultra, which began in 1953. In fact, it's to the contrary. Operation Artichoke continued, and one of its major objectives was to create assassins, otherwise known as Manchurian candidates." So as I said, we have the new Davos meeting coming up, and I'll be paying attention to all of their crazy proposals. So yeah, we'll be getting into that, and as we move forward, we'll continue on with our list of government conspiracies. If you consider what the government was doing back in the 1950s, just imagine what they are doing now. And always keep pushing that Epstein case. If we start pulling that thread, the whole world of political corruption could come crashing down. Until next time though, once again this is HelioWave. If you like the content, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you want to. If you're in a position to, consider subscribing on Locals or Subscribestar. As always, make sure you disobey those true fascistas, and yes, I do hope you have a good night.